continues to be amazing for World Chess Champion Gukesh. After a remarkable win against Magnus Carlsen, his first ever in classical format against the greatest player of all time, Gukesh continues his resurgence and he has beaten Arjun Erigaisi also for the very first time. It was a match which lasted for a very, very long time, almost close to 100 moves between Arjun Erigaisi and Gukesh. But yet again, Gukesh showed his defending might. He was once again in a slightly bad position and he was once again low on time. But yet again, the defending prowess of Gukesh resulted in Arjun Erigaisi committing two blunders. One which ensured that from a pretty dominant position, he was now equal. And then the one other move which ensured that Gukesh was on top and making the right accurate moves each and every time. Now, at the start of the game, Arjun Erigaisi was attacking and he had built himself a very, very formidable position at that stage. But then, unfortunately, what happened? He had a bishop move. That bishop move and the exchange of queens later ensured that yes, Gukesh then could have an equal position. From what was -2 on the board at that time, it became 0. So the position was relatively equal for most of the game. But then there was one rook blunder which Arjun Erigaisi did. And because of that rook blunder, Arjun Erigaisi then had to play catch up. Gukesh was up a pawn. He was in fact up 2 pawns at one point in time. But then he adapted the strategy that helped him so well in the Magnus game. He was up a pawn, right up the G and the H file. He pushed his pawns up. He then had the rook exchange. Then he planted his knight on the A file, which ensured Arjun's bishop couldn't go through. And that is why Gukesh, yet again, despite being under time pressure for most of the match, at one point, before even winning, he just had 22 seconds, 22 to 40 seconds. That was the range in which he was doing it. Despite all of that, despite being in a bad position, Gukesh has managed to win today. And because of that, he gets 3 crucial points. And because of the other results that went his way, this is a major event that has happened because Fabiano Caruana has beaten Wei and Magnus Carlsen has beaten Hikaru Nakamura in the Armageddon. So because of this, Arjun Erigaisi now will have to really struggle and ensure that yes, he does some favors to Gukesh, and then Gukesh and Fabiano Caruana now are level. So that is why this is going to be a crucial situation heading into the next 3 rounds. Now remember, India at this point in time, when you are looking at the attention, tomorrow is a vital day. Then you have a rest day on the 4th, 5th and 6th. That is when you're going to see plenty of action and we will see who will win the Norway Chess at this point in time. So Fabiano Caruana winning against Wei today, plus Gukesh also winning today, has ensured that he is in the top bracket at this point in time. So yes, it was kind of, when I started doing this live, at that time it was said that, okay, maybe he's in the joint lead. But then I think he's 1 point behind. So that is why Fabiano Caruana has made it 12.5. Gukesh is 1 point behind. I'll update that standings later. And then Magnus is half a point behind. Tomorrow is 1 game. Then on 4th is a rest day. 5th and 6th is a last 2 rounds which is there. But this win is vital for Gukesh because even Arjun Erigaisi has troubled Gukesh a lot. Look at it. He was 6-0. In classical chess, Arjun Erigaisi has always gotten the better of Gukesh. 6-0. He was the one who dented Gukesh's chances of winning Vaikanzi, the Tata Steel chess tournament. Gukesh just had to draw or win against Arjun Erigaisi, but he ended up losing. And then Pragnananda beat his opponent, and that's why Pragnananda, Gukesh, they went into the tiebreakers and Gukesh lost. Since then, his time has been pretty bad, especially what happened in Weisenhaus. So Gukesh has finally overcome his mental block both against Carlsen and against Arjun Erigaisi. He's also beaten Nakamura and Caruana. Four of the best players, and remember, all four are ahead of him in the ELO ratings. So that is why this is a really, really big situation that is there. All four players who are above Gukesh, he has beaten all of them in Norway Chess. So that is why he is a world champion for a reason. And that is why Fabiano Caruana, his win over Wei, he kind of, okay, if he had gotten into Armageddon, then perhaps Caruana might not have won. But now he has to now play with that, and now it is make or break for Gukesh. He has to win on a consistent basis, but he's also up against Caruana and Nakamura heading into the last rounds. So that is why this is going to be very, very, very interesting at this point in time. So it remains to be seen how Gukesh performs at this point, but he's already made a major statement. Irrespective of what happens in Norway Chess, he's already made a major statement. The win against Magnus Carlsen yesterday, there will be some critics who will want to judge stating, oh, Magnus was, Gukesh was lucky. Gukesh was lucky, Magnus blundered. But getting a blunder out of Magnus Carlsen is never easy. That knight move, knight to e2, is right up there with rook f2. What happened at this point in time, it was truly, truly remarkable. And that is why the win that Gukesh had against Magnus Carlsen, it is truly the game of the year for me. Whatever happens at this stage, it is the game of the year. No one beats Magnus Carlsen that easily, especially in the classical formats. No one beats him. In fact, he had a winning streak which was enviable. Fabiano Caruana has not beaten him that often. Hikaru Nakamura struggles. Everybody struggles. But yes, a lot of people will be saying the way how Magnus banged his hand on that table, it was very satisfying. And indeed, if you're gunning for the king, you should not miss it. And Magnus missed it. So that is why rare moment of mortality. Magnus is immortal, but there was one moment of mortality in that. So I will just have a couple of comments here. And Ashish Ranjan, I'm not going to answer IPL questions, please. I'm going to answer chess questions. Tushar Maskara, I love the time control of Norway Chess. No major increment. 2 thrilling games of back-to-back. Indeed, I also love the Norway Chess time increment. Just 10 seconds. And then after that, you have to just play like an Armageddon. Ashish Ranjan, do you have any other grandmaster in the pipeline other than Gukesh? Gukesh is just 19, yaar. There is a lot of time. This golden generation, let us make one thing clear here. They have got plenty of time. Arjun Erigaisi, Pragnananda and Gukesh. Vidit is also there. Let us make no mistake about it. So that is why you have other, like you have Arvind Chidambaram, for example. He's been mighty impressive. You also have Leon Mendonça. You have Nihal Serene. All of them are the next upcoming crop when you look at it. So that is why you have to believe in the depth of Indian chess. Anshuman Swain is saying 4 Indians in top 10 classical rankings. Absolutely. So Hiren Gupta, yes, it has just been updated. There was some error that had happened. So that's the thing. Tushar Maskara, Gukesh has a real chance of winning this event and give a real statement as world chess champion. Even if he doesn't win, he may finish second. I mean, the rest of the guys will also realize it's a double round robin. You can make up. But he has nothing to prove. He's beaten all the 4 guys who are on top of him. So that's why he has nothing left to prove. Prag also lost his last round in Vaikanzi against Kemar. Anshuman Swain. True, it was. Tushar Maskara, Gukesh resilience is top notch. He defends so well that forces a blunder out of opponent. That bang on the table from Magnus was a bit satisfying for me. I mean, it was very, very satisfying indeed. Yeah. Anshuman Swain, the bang heard around the chess world, very satisfying. But credit to Magnus Carlsen, he composed himself. He also congratulated Gukesh and whatever it is. We have to celebrate this win, but we also have to celebrate the greatness of Magnus Carlsen. I mean, we are so happy. That is the pedigree and class of Magnus Carlsen. He is the greatest, and beating the greatest, we have double reasons to celebrate in that sense. Shivanshu, Sid, the only OG sports journalist on digital media channel following chess passionately. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Shivanshu. I only try and ensure that I give you more such updates. Yagya Krishna, today anything Magnus said about yesterday loss? See, he was gracious in it. He was gracious. There were certain people who thought, oh, maybe he will not play chess anymore. Maybe he had to eat his words. But then, as a champion, as the greatest, he's always got a target on his back. So that's going to be very, very interesting. Tushar Hikaru said it's probably the last classical game between him and Magnus. Yeah, I think, see, with whatever has happened between FIDE and freestyle, I think it might be. It might be. And Arvind's world number 10 today following Wei loss to Caruana. Indeed, the live ratings have shown Arvind Chidambaram is in the top 10. 11th Spree, where do you rate Magnus in the greatest of all time list? Number 2. Number 2 in the greatest of all time list. First, if you ask me, is Garry Kasparov. Third is Vishwanathan Anand. Fourth and fifth, because I haven't seen them play, but I've analyzed their moves. I've seen them play. The moves have been recreated. I would say Jose Raul Capablanca and Tigran Petrosyan. That's my top 5 for me. And 6, Bobby Fischer. Bobby Fischer is the greatest also, but then Fischer didn't play that much. So that's why I would rate them in that order. And yes, I've answered that question, 11th Spear. And at this point, how do you say Magnus was composed because he just banged the table? Ramesh Lakshmi Narayana, I never said he was composed. I mentioned after banging the table, you just look at the sequence of events. He banged the table, he walked up, oh my God. And then he was aggressively putting the pieces back on the table. And then he shook Gukesh's hands, he then patted him on the back. You look at the entire sequence, I shared it also. So that's the way you look at it. And thank you, Shivanshu. Thank you so much for your comments. And we will continue to strive and we'll continue to ensure that we give you the information as there. It's because of you that we all have to wake up and ensure that we will be there. Krishna Yalan Pantula is saying, do you think Prag will make it to the next candidates? Yes. Yes. Prag, in fact, amongst the entire bunch, Prag's 2025 has been phenomenal. He won Tata Steel. He's also won Superbet, Romania. And that's why he's favorite heading into the Chess World Cup. Arjun and Prag, 2 contenders who can make it to the candidates. And that is why this is going to be very interesting. Anshuman Swain, Prag is leading FIDE circuit this year, but there's still a lot of time left for the FIDE circuit to end, Anshuman. His best bet is the World Cup. The best bet is the World Cup in October, which will be held in India. So that's why it's going to be very, very interesting indeed. So thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this live. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis. Yes, it's the IPL final that's also coming up, but we'll also be keeping an eye on Norway Chess as well. And yes, Yagya Krishna, I'm happy to see Gukesh playing in Time Scramble. He's done anything. He's silenced the critics. Whatever happens in Norway Chess, he silences critics. And wherever those critics are, whenever they crawl out, we will call them out. So that's why, in that sense. 11, can you beat Gukesh on your best day in chess? By the way, love you, Siddhar, for your logical rational analysis of all the games. Can I beat Gukesh? In my dreams. In my dreams. I just cannot even figure out how to do it. I mean, you give me a chance. If I want to play Gukesh or I'll interview Gukesh, I'll happily interview Gukesh. I can't beat them. So that's why Gukesh is a world champion for a reason. Magnus is the greatest for a reason. We forget he's just 19. He'll improve, of course. Tushar Mascara, improve. He's already scaled the summit. Yes, he'll have to win on a consistent basis. That is the way I look at it. He has to win on a consistent basis. But as far as the legacy is concerned, he's achieved everything at such a young age. Candidates winner, double Olympiad winner. I think he's achieved a lot. So we have to give credit. Freestyle, yeah, that's the thing. Freestyle and rapid. If he does well in that, then he's the complete player. And Anshuman Swain, 10 seconds for Gukesh and 1 hour for you may be possible. No. Even if it is 5 seconds for Gukesh, I will still lose. He's that good. He's that best. So that's why that's the way I look at it. Yes, freestyle is one thing, but that is a debate for another day. So thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this update. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis.